Welcome to Real Estate 360, an informative and engaging hour discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, Mike Ambrosio, will provide you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate, and much more. And now, to guide you around the world of real estate, here's your host, Mike D'Ambrosio.
Welcome in. Good afternoon. This is Mike D'Ambrosio with Real Estate 360 Radio. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We're talking anything and everything real estate, providing you great information and education. We have a great show for you in store today. I'll introduce my guests in a minute. You guys might be familiar with them. Just a reminder.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, right? Just a reminder for those of you just tuning in, there's a couple different ways you can listen to our show. That is on the radio at KDOW 1220 AM. You can also listen to us live online at kdow.biz. And KDOW also has an app, so go to your app store, download it today, and you can listen to us anywhere and everywhere, which is always a good thing. We come to you 5 days a week, Monday through Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. I'm on Mondays. We are also a live show, and we love your questions and your phone calls and your suggestions, so don't be afraid. Give us a call. If you'd like to chime in or answer any questions, you can always reach us at 1-800-516-1220. That's 1-800-516-1220. We love to hear your suggestions for future topics, guests, and content that you desire as well. And finally, if you missed any of the shows or want to sign up for the updates, visit our website at RE360radio.com. There's also a mixer tomorrow, and let's talk about that. I want to introduce my guests. You guys might be familiar with them. It's Joe Cachera today, the Real Estate 360 host, the head honcho around here, also the manager of Partners Mortgage, and we're talking Willow Glen today. It's Neighborhood Week, but why don't you talk about the mixer tomorrow?
Thanks, Mike. It's great to be here with you, and it's great to be sitting on the other side of the table here with you doing all the heavy lifting now.
That's right.
You're doing a great job. Well, again, I want to thank everybody as well for continuing to listen to the RE360 team. We're very, very excited about 2014, and Mike's a big part of that, and a lot of great information in store for you, so stay tuned. And yes, just a reminder, as we do every single Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month, we have a live show, and we do that at the Toll House Hotel in Los Gatos. Come down and see us. The show goes from 3 to 4, and then we roll into an industry mixer right afterwards. So we'd love to have anyone that wants to come in and listen to the show. You're welcome to do that. Again, it's at the Toll House Hotel in Los Gatos. That's tomorrow from 3 to 4, and then a mixer right afterwards. If you want more information, you go to the website, re360radio.com. But looking forward to that for sure tomorrow.
Great, thank you. Yeah, it's always fun to. It's cool to see you guys do it live, and there's the audience there. Fun. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of good energy. So.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I want to talk a little bit about what's upcoming in the coming weeks.
Okay.
I'm sure, as I've been pitching to the audience for the past couple weeks now, is that I'm going to have themed weeks on my Monday shows.
Perfect.
So usually today we have Neighborhood Day, so we're going to be talking about a specific neighborhood of the Bay Area, which is going to be Willow Glen, a suburb in San Jose.
Yep.
So that's 1 week. Week 2 is usually investment properties. And next week, I'm really excited. I have my buddy coming on. His name is Andy Armstrong. He works with Meacham Oppenheimer, and we're going to be talking about retail.
Good.
So I think it's going to be a really great topic for people that are interested in businesses and own businesses, or just interested in the economy, as a whole, because retail usually is a pretty good indicator of that. So Andy Armstrong with Meacham Oppenheimer. The following week is the Trends in the Market week, and I'm going to be talking with Tim Denner of TAPS Termite. So we're going to be talking about termite issues. I think you've had someone on a few years back about this, and it was a interesting show.
It was a mold. Actually, I had a mold expert, Mike.
He does that too.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't know that we've gotten a lot of calls in this show before, but that was one of the most highly rated shows in terms of call activity.
Right.
It was funny. We have people calling saying, well, I think I have mold on my boat. What should I do?
We're not a boat show.
So it is interesting. It's funny because what we think is, we normally try to go what's glamorous, what's sexy, what's like what people get interested in this, $5 million estate. But people want to know about termites. People want to know about mold. They want to be educated on every aspect of real estate. So these are great topics.
Yeah.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
It's great to have those here.
And the fourth week's usually an improv or a special guest week. I'm going to have Tom Tognoli, the COO of Intero Real Estate.
Great.
You had him
guy.
on. Yeah, you had him on a couple months ago.
Yep.
And then the next neighborhood day is probably going to be the Walker team from my office. They specialize in Los Gatos, Cupertino. So we're going to be talking that. So that's kind of the lineup for the next month. It should be a fun month.
Yeah, you got a lot in tune there. So make sure you stay tuned. Listen to it every single day. A lot of good information. And,
that too.
Please remember that Mike is doing the same thing we have done for the last couple of years, and that is we work really, really hard. You'll find to add good content and guests to the show, and Mike's doing a great job at that, and it's a lot of fun. So stay tuned because you're going to learn a lot more this year.
Yep. Thank you. So let's get into before I get into it, I know we're not sports talk radio, but how about those Niners, huh?
We could talk sports for a while.
That was a great game. If you didn't watch it, you missed out. It was awesome. And on the topic of that, I mean, we saw what the weather conditions were like yesterday in Green Bay. They were 5 degrees or something with a negative 12-degree wind chill factor. And I was just kind of thinking to myself the whole day is like, this is why we live in the Silicon Valley.
And you're watching the game in a short sleeve.
Yeah, exactly. We had the doors open. We were barbecuing, it was great. So it's just, this is why real estate in the Silicon Valley is so valuable. Where here, I don't know what a 3.2 1,500 square foot house costs in Wisconsin, but I can guarantee it's probably a quarter of the price as it is here.
I'll bet you it's the cost of a car,
yeah,
depending on what type of car over there. Yeah, I mean, the job, we've talked about it before, but it's so true. The job market, the weather, demographics, I mean, in terms of where we are, geographical area, you have Lake Tahoe, right? I mean, Carmel, Monterey, Yosemite,
right,
Napa, San Francisco. We could go on and on. I mean, it's just a great place to live.
Yeah, you're basically, 3 or 4 hours away from snow, beach, desert, forest,
Anything.
Reno.
Yep.
So anyways, all right, let's get into it. If you're just listening in, you're listening to RE360 Radio on KDOW AM 1220. I'm live in studio with Joe Kuchera, the main RE360 radio host and manager of Partners Mortgage. Today we are on our Neighborhood Week theme. We're talking about Willow Glen. If you're not familiar with where Willow Glen is, it's a suburb of San Jose. It's kind of near. It's basically near downtown. Basically, the borders are from 280 to 87 to about Foxworthy Avenue and Meridian. The zip code is 95125. Let's talk a little bit about the stats and what's going on in the residential market there. It's pretty. I don't want to say alarming, but as far as how low the inventory is there, and it's been low for the past 2 years now. Mainly because a lot of people don't want to sell. Yeah, they want to stay there.
It's a desirable location, and they don't. So it seemed like the inventory might pick up a little bit, but you're showing looks like it's not, is it? I mean, it's still pretty low.
I looked about 2 hours ago, and there's only 36 single-family residences for sale.
It's amazing.
4 condos.
Really, in the 95125.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 40 total houses for sale. There's actually 48 that are pending or in contract. So more of them are in contract than normal. So it's just pretty amazing what's going on there. And I forgot to mention, Joe's actually a resident of Willow Glen as well as I am. So that's why I'm having him in here today.
It's a great topic. I'd love to be here for that reason. Yeah, I moved there in 2005, and I love it. I mean, we're basically 5 blocks from town where we live, and you and I were talking off air, Mike, on it's just such a great little city and a little town. And even though it is in the San Jose proper, I mean, so it doesn't have the the Los Gatos schools, the Saratoga schools, the Cupertino schools, but it's got that great little city town charm where it's a wonderful downtown area, which, by the way, keeps getting better all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, they're doing
definitely.
upgrades to that area all the time.
Yeah.
And some great places to eat, for sure, good places to eat down there. And, all the events, which I know we'll talk about later, but it's a great place to live. And I still think to a certain extent it's kind of a hidden secret in terms of a lot of the cities that are talked about.
Right. And I think it's the only part of San Jose that has its own downtown separate from
I think you're right.
from downtown. So it's
right.
pretty interesting because Campbell's its own city and Los Gatos, obviously. So that's pretty, that's different,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And so it's interesting. And it's pretty amazing if you look at what's been happening with the values that are going on there in Willow Glen. I mean, they've been going up, obviously, just like everywhere else. But I got these stats from the Willow Glen tour. There's a tour every week that all the realtors go to, and I obviously go to it because I specialize in Willow Glen, and so if you look at the average price of what was pending this time last year, so in 2012, it was $725,000.
Okay.
If you look at the average price, these stats came out right before Christmas. The average price is $1,028,000.
Wow.
So obviously there's sometimes there's sales in there that bump up the price, So I mean it could be skewed a little bit, but it's just amazing how much the values have gone up over the past couple of years, and I just can't believe it.
Well, I've seen in my neighborhood alone, I shouldn't say my block where I live, I would say we moved there in 2005, so let me just do a quick think here. Within the block and kind of cul-de-sac area that we live within, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 total like tear down, rebuild.
Right. That's big in Willow Glen.
Yeah.
Yeah, mainly because what you have is smaller homes that were on huge lots.
Yep.
So now they're fitting these mansions on these lots, and it's pretty amazing. So
I didn't realize that. So the average is almost 300,000 in gain from average sales price.
Yeah.
Wow. From 2012 to 2013.
Yeah. No, it's pretty amazing.
That is.
So then the days on market, I think this time last year of houses that it took, days on market or how long it takes to sell. So in 2012 it was an average of 51, and now in 2013, this was in December, so it's an average of 61. But if you would have looked at these numbers like in summertime, it was way lower. It was like in the teens, I think, so things are selling quickly. But the fact that there's only 36 houses for sale in Willow Glen,
incredible.
It is incredible. And usually, just so you have a frame of reference, I would say the normal levels are between 100 and 150. That would be what would be considered normal.
And do you see that? I guess it's it's still a bit of a crystal ball, but do you see that improving? What I mean by that is, do you see more inventory coming on the market in the next couple of months? I know it's a little bit of a guess, but any indication that would suggest that?
I do. I think 2014 is going to be a huge year for real estate. And last year was really good, but I think they've gained equity. They know where their position is now. I think that sellers are more open to selling because they know they got the equity there. And, so I think it's going to be a big year. I definitely see. And then obviously we've talked about it before. Super Bowl is usually a benchmark. So hopefully the Niners make it to the Super Bowl. But usually after that, you're going to see a bump in inventory.
I think the last piece is the rates.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people on the fence, as you mentioned some of those other factors, they're seeing that the rates are now done.
Yeah,
they're going to do nothing but go up.
Let's touch on that on the other side of the break. Stick with us. We have a lot to get to. You're listening to the RE360 Radio. I'm live with Joe Kuchera. We come to you Monday through Friday. Give us a call if you have any questions. 1-800-516-1220. 1-800-516-1220. AM 1220 KDOW.
For more information on today's program, visit RE360radio.com. That's RE360radio.com. Welcome back to Real Estate 360, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RE360radio.com. That's RE360radio.com. Again, your host for today's edition of RE360 Radio, Mike D'Ambrosio.
Welcome back. This is Mike D'Ambrosio on RE360 Radio, KDOW AM 1220. We are live in studio today with Joe Kuchera from Partners Mortgage, the manager at Partners Mortgage, and the Real Estate 360 host, head honcho over here. We'd love to hear from you. We're talking about Willow Glen. It's Neighborhood Week. Give us a call at 1-800-516-1220. That's 1-800-516-1220 if you have any questions, comments about Willow Glen, or even do you live there? Do you have any stories or family or friends that live there? Or even we'd be open to hearing if you have your town that you're
there's
interested
got
about
to be
talking
some
about.
stories out there.
Yeah.
Willow Glen's been around how long? I know you're going to get to that, but
since the 20s, early
so
1900s.
I got to believe someone out there driving around or listening online has got a story for Mike or me about Willow Glen. So if you are, we'd love to hear it, because that's part of the show that we love, is to engage and have you call in and ask those, or give us some stories for sure.
Even you fellow realtors out there, don't be
That's
afraid
right.
to call.
Give us your opinions.
Yeah. So let's get into a little bit of the history of Willow Glen. It used to be basically a marsh. It was a marshy area, with a lot of willow trees surrounded by the Los Gatos Creek and the Guadalupe River.
Okay.
And it was drained in the early 1900s, and then it was planted with orchards. And then what happened was, later down the road, houses and roads were built in the farmland, and then Willow Glen began to urbanize, especially with the addition of Lincoln Avenue, which is the main drag, and that developed kind of as the downtown shopping area that it is today. And basically what really made Willow Glen a tight-knit community is, in the 1920s, a railroad was proposed to run right through the middle of the community, and the residents of the area joined together, and they basically prevented it from going in. So in 1927 is when it was incorporated as the town of Willow Glen, and then by the 1930s, the growth of it really made it necessary for them to join the city of San Jose for all the infrastructure, sewage,
right,
all that type of stuff. So it became part of the city of San Jose in 1927. So that's kind of the background. And now, it's really got a bustling downtown. And even a couple of years ago, the downtown got together and they created the Willow Glen Business Association, which essentially they all agreed to increase their taxes a little bit a year to these taxes go into a fund which maintain the downtown.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Right. So that's why you see the downtown has become so vibrant over the past couple of years, because they're really keeping it up, and they're attracting new businesses and small businesses, and I'm sure you've seen the transformation, right?
Oh, it's been amazing. And I'll tell you, one of the things it's nice to see. And you might have, people might have different thoughts about this, but it's busy down there all the time now.
Yeah.
Before, it was, somewhat busy on weekends or Friday nights or something like that. But you go down there during the week, and most of those restaurants are full, which is great to see, because I think not only the community itself, the people are using downtown area,
right,
but we're seeing a lot of people come in from different areas to go to Willow Glen.
Yeah, definitely.
For dinner and to spend some time.
Right, and it's in the location of Willow Glen. It's pretty centrally located, right? So it's easy to get to.
Good point.
As opposed to other areas that might not be as easy or accessible through freeways and whatnot. So the other great thing about Willow Glen is they have a great neighborhood association that fights for a lot of different causes and makes sure the safety of downtown is intact. And so there's always things going on with the Willow Glen Neighborhood Association. The other great thing about Willow Glen was they were voted, I think it was last year.
2013.
Yeah. They were voted one of the best big city neighborhoods by Money Magazine.
The top 10.
Yeah. So that's pretty amazing. It's
quite an honor.
That is quite an honor for such a little suburb of San Jose. It's their pros were, because they voted for it, was because it's just a 5-minute drive from downtown. It feels like its own little town, more than an urban outpost. They have local businesses. The streets are lined with well-kept homes, ranging from century-old craftsmen to recent rebuilds like we were talking about. Their biggest con, or their only real con, was buying isn't cheap. So I would say, your typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath in a good area of Willow Glen is going to range from $750,000 to $800,000 or $900,000, just depends on what you're getting. But rentals aren't cheap. I think I heard you mention this on Friday, is that in the area you live in, you can't rent something for less than $3,000 a month.
That's crazy. It's matter of fact, I have a rental that I know I'm undercharging on. That's because the gal that's been there for 3.5, 4 years, and she's great. And so I'm really concerned about raising the rent, but the average rents are crazy.
Yeah.
I just saw in an article over the weekend, there was a 375 square foot studio rented in San Francisco for 24 something a month.
Oh my God!
It's 350 square foot. It's just, it might be the size of this office.
That's nuts. Well, stick with us. We're going to come back on the other side of the break. We got a lot to get to. You're listening to RE360 Radio on AM 1220. I'm live in studio with Joe Kuchera. Give us a call at 1-800-516-1220, 1-800-516-1220 on AM 1220 KDOW.
For more information on today's program, visit RE360radio.com. That's RE360radio.com. Welcome back to Real Estate 360, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RE360radio.com. That's RE360radio.com. Again, your host for today's edition of RE360 Radio, Mike D'Ambrosio.
Welcome back. This is Mike D'Ambrosio on RE360 Radio, KDOW AM 1220. We are talking with Joe Kuchera, branch manager at Partners Mortgage in San Jose, as well as the RE360 head honcho. And we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 1-800-516-1220, 1-800-516-1220. We're talking Willow Glen neighborhoods. Tomorrow, if you want to talk too, tomorrow we have the monthly mixer at the Toll House.
A lot of fun. Come on down and join us.
Yeah, so it'll be a good time. That's the live show from 3 to 4, as well as the mixer after from 4 to 6.
Right.
Okay, good. Well, it looks like we got a caller, Shri from San Jose, talking about out-of-state buying and rental properties. Shri, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, thank you for calling.
I just wanted to reach out to the excellent show and find out which are the good parts of the country to invest in real estate for rental purposes, for positive cash flow and appreciation.
Right. It's a great question. I think there's a lot of good areas of the country to, invest in real estate. I know certain parts of Nevada are popular, Florida, Texas. It just depends on what your goals are, really. I mean, a lot of people like to invest outside of the state, mainly because the barrier to entry of investing is a lot lower, meaning the prices are lower. And if the rental income is there, it makes more sense sometimes. Joe, can you?
Yeah, Tree, it's a great call. We get a lot of calls on people that are interested in investing outside of California. So we are connected with a handful of people that we would trust to consult with you that specifically live and work here in the Bay Area, but also help people invest in other states. And, they have their finger on the pulse on a regular basis. So what I would do, Shri, if, after we answer any more questions, stay on the call here and have Kevin, the producer, take your information, and we could connect you to some people that work with people specifically in other states. Because what happens is that it changes. If you really do your research, there are certain states and certain areas that are really, really, the timing might be good now, but the timing may not be good now. So you got to be careful with that. And then when you don't live in a certain area, the reason why you really want to rely on someone as an expert in other states is that they're going to be able to walk you through start to finish, A to Z, and that's something certainly Mike and I couldn't do because we're experts in the Bay Area, but we do have connections for that type if you'd like to be connected with them.
Yeah, I appreciate that's exactly why I called the show, to be able to get some references.
Good. Well, yeah, we'll definitely, at Intero, we're a part of leading real estate companies of the world, and basically it's a highly screened company of experts where it's hard to get into this network, and once you get into it, referring out all over the country, if not the globe, the person on the other end of that spectrum is going to be a really good agent and really good at what they do. Mm-hmm. So I have full confidence I'll be able to help you find someone, with that need. So yeah, leave your information. And do you have any other questions?
No, that's about it.
Hey,
that was the reason why I called. Thanks.
Thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, hang on, Tree, and Kevin will take your information, and then Mike will follow up with you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye.
So, getting on that topic too, it's interesting because when you look at the prices of houses, let's take Vegas for example, right?
Yeah,
you're going to be able to buy a 3.2 1,500 square foot house for a considerable amount less than you would here. But how much different are the rents going to be? It's not going to be that much.
No,
different.
that's why people are really, really intrigued with investing outside of California. You're right. I mean, we could give examples all day, and it's about cash flow.
Right.
And So again, we could just throw an example out. You can run the numbers. If you buy something like that, or even a duplex over there, you could probably pick one up for 150, 160,000.
Right.
Put 20% down, and if you could put two people in this duplex, and you could get, I don't know, $900 or $1,000 a month for each unit.
Yeah. Numbers look good.
Yeah.
It's all about the cash flow, baby. Yep. That's what we say here on RE360 Radio. We're gonna get back to Willow Glen on the other side of the break. Stick with us. If you have any other questions, 1-800-516-1220, 1-800-516-1220. We are live on AM KDOW 1220.
Welcome back to Real Estate 360, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RE360Radio.com. That's RE360Radio.com. Again, your host for today's edition of RE360 Radio, Mike D'Ambrosio.
Welcome back. This is Mike D'Ambrosio on RE360 Radio, KDOW AM 1220. We are in Neighborhood Week this week. We're talking Willow Glen. I got Joe Kuchera, the RE360 head host, and the manager at Partners Mortgage.
The guy who started all these problems.
That's right.
I created this mess.
Yeah. And he's also a Willow Glen resident, so that's why I wanted to have Joe in. I am too. My whole family lives there. We have a business there. I specialize in Willow Glen.
Is there Italian code? Do you have to be Italian to live in Willow Glen?
I guess so. I don't know.
I think the taxes are less, right?
That's true.
We're going to get in trouble.
Yeah. That's right.
A Dago tax.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There is a lot. There is a pretty prominent Italian, culture in Willow Glen. But it's there you go. Right on cue, Kevin. Thank you. So yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any questions or any Italian stories, maybe, or any stories of your own, give us a call at 1-800-516-1220. I like to hear from my fellow realtors that work in Willow Glen too. It's a great group.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about the events that go on in Willow Glen, because there's some great ones.
There are.
The biggest one is Dancing on the Avenue. I'm sure some of you may have heard about this, but what it is, it's in the summer. It's usually in June. And there's about, I want to say, 35 to 40,000 people that come down here. And basically, the whole Lincoln Avenue downtown is shut down from Minnesota to Willow. And you have all the businesses open. You have booths, vendors, you have, I think 4 stages of music. So
it's a big deal.
It is. And you have a main stage with a bunch of really good bands. You have a kids stage where a lot of the local dance studios and stuff, their kids come and perform, and that's fun. And then you have another couple other stages with different bands. And when was the last time you went? Did you go last year?
I went last year, yeah. And what's great too is that what they do is they really cater to the local businesses,
right?
Which is great. You'll go downtown and you're not going to see a lot of major like worldwide network brands or anything. It's cool because they really do a good job at marketing to the local businesses and catering to that.
Yeah. And
it's a great event. You have great food. Music, as you'd mentioned,
beer, wine,
all kinds of good stuff, and it's a great event. It's definitely one of the landmarks there. For sure.
And speaking of beer and wine too, they do have beer walks and wine walks in downtown Willow Glen. I think a couple times a year. It's where you you bounce around from one business to another, and they have tastings, and it's really fun. There you go. I like that. And then also on the topic of small businesses, they do have a small business Saturday where you go and support the local small businesses, because they do have a lot of locally owned businesses there, and that's huge to them, and they're really passionate about small business in downtown Willow Glen, which I think is great.
That's really good.
There is some bigger chains that are in downtown Willow Glen, but for the most part, it's small businesses, and we like to support that in Willow Glen. The other one they have is the Founders Day Parade, which they kind of go through the history of Willow Glen, and there's a lot of floats and old school classic cars, and it's just a great day.
Don't they also have the what's the Campbell has at Los Gatos? What is it? The
Farmers Market.
Farmers Market, but then don't they have I want to say music in the park, but it's every Thursday night or something like that during the summer.
Music in the Glen, which
there you go, music in the Glen. Yeah,
they usually have really good bands there, and it's just a good time for the community to go out and enjoy some live music, and once again drink some wine and stuff like that. The other thing, and I'm gonna advertise my own event, but I volunteer a lot with the Willow Glen Business Association, and about 2 times a year we do a blood drive. So this, and usually one of them is around Valentine's Day. So this February 8th from 10 to 3 p.m. at the community center, we're going to have a blood drive with the Red Cross, and it's going to be a great time. It's also going to be a business expo, so a lot of the small businesses are going to be there to kind of advertise their services, and you know, it's always a good time donating blood. We usually have good snacks, and you know, just for a good cause, because we need blood.
Yes, we all do.
So you know, it's just a great little community, and I mean, you've lived there since 2005,
right?
And what are some of the feelings and some of the things you have about Willow Glen that maybe you want to share?
Well, one of the things that keeps coming back to me is when I looked for a place to live, and we wanted to move, my wife and I, we looked at Los Gatos, Saratoga, Almaden, all these different. They're all great locations, but we kept coming back to Willow Glen because of the city, the charm. And the thing that I love about Willow Glen, too, and a little bit like Los Gatos, is that it's very unique. You could drive down a neighborhood and see all kinds of different structures and homes and the way they're built. And there's what I would call character. Again, this is, you know, not to be taken the wrong way, but there are some cities and areas of San Jose and other places for that matter, not to pick on San Jose. Right. But you drive through neighborhoods and areas, and they don't have character. Right. And it could be the 70s homes, the 80s homes that were built. They're all same, kind of built the same way, you know, with the same look and feel. What I love about Willow Glen is it's the character, the appeal, and then the downtown area and all the events. I mean, you think about it, most of these places with small or these intimate downtown areas really draw a lot of activities. And I'll tell you the other part that's changing with demographics and people in general, that this kind of, you know, where everybody was sprawling out for a while. Yeah. Well, I want to get away from the city with my 5 acres over here and over there. That's coming to an end. Right. What's happening now, and this is why the redevelopment in San Jose is coming up, is that now people do want to be closer to town. Right. And that's driving places like Willow Glen and other places that have these great, quaint little towns a lot more popularity.
I want to get to that urban living on the other side of the break, because I think that's a really good topic.
It is.
You know, it's part of the future of Silicon Valley. Agree. So let's get to that. Give us a call if you have any questions, 1-800-516-1220. I'm live in studio with Joe Kuchera from Partners Mortgage and RE360 Radio. We are live on AM 1220 KDOW.
Welcome back to Real Estate 360, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RE360Radio.com. That's RE360Radio.com. Again, your host for today's edition of RE360 Radio, Mike D'Ambrosio.
Welcome back. This is Mike D'Ambrosio with RE360 Radio, KDOW, AM 1220. I'm live in studio with Joe Kuchera, RE360 host, head honcho. We'd love to. Thanks for calling in today, and I think we had a great, thorough discussion about Willow Glen, and
we did.
You know, I think we really got to a lot about Willow Glen, so that was nice.
Yeah, and I know you're going to be talking about a bunch of different cities coming forward, so be sure to tune in to Mike's show every single Monday. Yeah, good stuff. He's got a lot of good stuff coming ahead for sure.
We just got a couple minutes before the show's over, but I wanted to get to the urban living topic we hit on, and we can do a whole show about this because it's pretty amazing what's coming forward. But I think there's a general plan or a vision group that was created for Silicon Valley. I think it's until 2040, and the big thing on that is urban living, urban infill, and what that means is, I think over the next couple of decades, you're going to see redevelopment in areas where they're knocking things down that may be single level, and they're gonna build up. So they're going to build retail on the ground, and then condos and kind of more high density living on top, kind of like
mixed use,
right? Yep. A perfect example. I mean, a perfect example around the world is Santana Row. That's used all over the country. I mean, that's right in our backyard, and it's a big deal. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe everything's not gonna be as fancy as Santana Row, but I think the idea that people are they're more interested in living in environments that they can is more convenient. You know, everything's close to them.
I would agree.
Kind of like how it used to be, you know, back in the day. Kind of like how Willow Glen is to a certain extent, where
You saw that. We talked about it as we came into that last break, but you saw that over the last years. Everybody was, not everybody, but a large majority with the interest was, let's buy this 4-acre lot over here 20 miles from town, and we could still come and get our groceries and all that, and we're away from the. Now you're right. It's just the opposite because of work. Right. And I'll tell you, the biggest part is well-being. And when I say about well-being, talk about another show we could do on is, people want to be closer to what's going on in their life, along with their children, their families, their parents. The aging boom, the aging population's another topic. We go on, but these are the reasons why people want to be closer to everything now. Hospitals, restaurants, hotels, the events that are taking place. So, yeah, you hit right on the number.
I'm writing these topics down.
We have 5 shows now for Mike to do.
No, I think that'll be good. And what you're referencing to with people buying acreage or when they were building these developments out in the middle of nowhere is called urban sprawl.
Right.
It's one of the things I learned when I was in college getting my real estate degree.
Your parents will be happy to know that you learned something.
Yeah, there you go. So anyways, we're coming down to the end of the show, but I did want to pose the question of the week, and what you can do is email me or call me and leave the answer if you know it, and you'll win a pizza certificate to Giorgio's or Frankie John and Luigi's, our sponsor. So the question of the week is, what magazine company voted Willow Glen one of the best places to live? What magazine company voted Willow Glen one of the best places to live? And you can email me. It's so easy, guys. Mike at RE360radio.com. How easy is that to remember?
It's easy. And they get what do they get for that?
They get a free pizza at Giorgio's, and then they get to, go eat Italian food.
I love it.
So nothing better than that.
Am I included?
You are included. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I don't know if I'll put you in the drawing, though. But, hey, I want to thank you for being on the show today. I think it was a great discussion.
A lot of fun.
We hope to see everyone out tomorrow. Do you want to...
last shot out. Come and see us tomorrow at the Toll House Hotel in Los Gatos. We have our monthly mixer, 3 o'clock. See the radio show. Come and see Mike and I and many, many other people. A lot of fun. Yeah, definitely. And if you have any questions, real estate questions, you can reach me at 408-357-6177. You can reach the RE360 team at re360radio.com. And we thank you for listening. Happy New Year, everybody. We are live Monday through Friday on AM 1220 KDOW. That's Monday through Friday, AM 1220 KDOW. That's RE360 Radio. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great week. Great show.
You've been listening to Real Estate 360 on AM 1220 KDOW. For more information on today's program, visit re360radio.com. That's re360radio.com. AM 1220 KDOW.